A mere hour and a half from the bustle and flurry of the capital city of Kuala Lumpur lies a haven of peace and tranquility. Situated at the mouth of the Selangor River lies the Kuala Selengor Nature Park, or Taman Alam, an important conservation area for coastal and riverine mangroves. It is also a sanctuary for resident and migratory birds and a host of other amazing wildlife. The Malaysian Nature Society established the Kuala Selengor Nature Park in 1987 for the Selangor state government as an alternative to a proposed golf course. It is a unique area of landscape made up of various habitats, secondary forests, a brackish water lake, mangroves and coastal mudflats. The Visitor Centre is your first stop at the Kuala Selengor Nature Park to get tickets, drinks, souvenirs and information on the park. The park has various walking trails that allow you to discover the different habitats. All the trails in the park begin at the Visitor Centre. They vary in length, duration and highlight various habitats. About 2/3 of the park consists of secondary forests, formed from degenerated mangrove trees. It is mainly dominated by strangling figs and other coastal trees, climbers and the mangrove fern. The secondary forest of Kuala Selengor Nature Park harbours a large variety of wildlife species. Easily seen at the Kuala Selengor Nature Park as a result of legal protection is the silverleaf monkey, a rare species of monkey found in Peninsular Malaysia. Exclusively tree-dwelling, they feed predominantly on leaves and seeds of legumes. The young are dramatically different in colour from the adult. The variation in colour exists in order to attract the mother's sisters and cousins so that they may help to protect and rear the babies. After 3 months or so, the colour reverts to the same shade as the adult. Another primate often seen is a highly mischievous and noisy long-tailed macaque. On your walk through the secondary forests, keep a lookout for various smaller animals. In the mornings, a rough skink can be found sunning itself to provide energy sufficient for movement. A master of camouflage, the green-crested lizard can vary its body colour through shades of green and brown to suit its place of rest. Easily identified is the green whip snake. Its prey includes lizards and frogs. In the middle of the park is a brackish man-made lake, surrounded by a walking path with 3 viewing towers. This lake was created to attract birds to roost and to feed. It is a safe nesting area for approximately 156 bird species, 57 of which are migratory. Kuala Selengor Nature Park is one of the most important birding sites in Peninsular Malaysia. Occasionally, a family of smooth otters may be seen in the lake. Gregarious creatures, otters are playful but are highly territorial. Also around the lake area or close by, you can see plants such as the sea hibiscus and the noni. The park's mangrove forest represents a complex coastal wetland system, which is an extremely important intermediate between land and sea. Wooden boardwalks allow access into this amazing world of mangroves and to the mudflats of the Straits of Malacca. Within this mangrove forest, you will find a total of 13 species of mangrove trees. They have evolved remarkable adaptations to cope with the high salinity and the lack of oxygen caused by the thick sandy mud in which they grow and the inundation of the tides twice a day. The root systems of mangroves form a tangle of arches that become a barrier between the sea and the land. Mangroves are high productive environments with high growth rates. The tides bring in nutrients which are supplemented by leaves and fruits falling from the trees onto the mud below. This is a bounty for microorganisms and crabs, prawns and mollusks, fish, and even some primates. The sanctuary offered by the tangled web of roots and plentiful food supply makes mangroves vital nurseries for the juvenile stages of many crustaceans and fish. An amazing array of animals can be found within the mangrove forests and adjacent mudflats. During low tide, fiddler crabs emerge from their burrows to forage for food. Males have one enormous enlarged claw, used to make rapid, vibratory movements on the surface of the mud to intimidate and fight rival males and to attract females for mating. A most unusual inhabitant of the mangroves here is the mudskipper. Mudskippers are actually fish that spend much of their time out of the water on the mud in the mangrove forests. The mudskippers graze the surface of the sediment deposited by the latest tide, feeding on microorganisms, algae, and small plants. Their eyes are like periscopes, so that they can see above water even when their bodies are partially submerged. They move by pulling themselves forward with large pectoral fins. Mudskippers can be highly territorial. Males can be highly aggressive, posturing, mouth gaping, and signaling with an erect dorsal fin. Fish, prawns, crabs, mollusks, and worms become food for hundreds and thousands of water birds of many species, some resident, some migratory. At the height of the migratory bird season, normally in September, a large number of birds seek refuge here from the winter months. Their migration involves a journey in excess of 5,000 kilometers each way. They come from as far away as northern China and Siberia. As many as 100,000 wading birds have been recorded to converge here at the height of the season. The park is one of the most important sites in Malaysia for these migratory birds. The season lasts until April of the following year. They will leave as northern spring approaches. Various projects are undertaken in the park for conservation, education, and research. The Milky Stork Captive Breeding and Reintroduction Program was an attempt to breed and reintroduce the milky stork back to its original habitat and range. A rare resident, the milky stork is totally protected and endangered. Other conservation programs at the park include mangrove planting. This is an important activity aimed at conserving the various species of mangroves and restoring deteriorated areas to its former glory. To raise the level of environmental education, awareness and conservation, nature camps, talks, forums, fields and training courses are held for school children and the community of Kuala Selangor. Local community partnerships are encouraged. Locals are trained as guides, and visitors can experience and support the life of fishing communities by going on fishing trips. The park has over 12,000 visitors yearly. There are A-frames, chalets, and dormitories available for those wanting to spend more time at the park. Beyond the park, one can visit the Altingsberg Lighthouse at the top of Bukit Melawati, or take a boat ride in the evening at Kampung Kuantan to watch the synchronous flashing of thousands of fireflies. Kuala Selangor Nature Park is a pristine sanctuary rich in wetland fauna. It is recognized for its outstanding conservation management of the rich diversity of wildlife and habitats.